Hi, welcome to Focus with Big Smith. My name is Leroy Smith. This morning we are on the East Bank and we speak the East Bank Demerara corridor. And we'll be speaking with Traffic Chief, Mr. Ramesh Ashram. Mr. Ashram, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Leroy.
All right, so we want to talk a bit about what is going on with respect to this traffic situation, the 3-lane, as we lead to this Christmas season. What measures do you have in place to reduce casualties and all these sort of stuff?
Leroy, as you know, the traffic lane was activated some years ago. Can't remember exactly, but it's over 5 to 6 years. And we in the traffic department, we realized the amount of vehicles using the East Bank route. So we decided to ease the traffic in the morning for vehicles going to town and persons getting to and from work. In the mornings, we create a third lane from the Harbour Bridge down to Georgetown. And the third lane is a lane going north using the Eastern Carriageway western lane. And in the afternoon, we do the reverse, where the specific time depends on the build up the traffic in the afternoon. It's not like in the morning where we do it from 7. But in the afternoon, as we observe the traffic and the build up, we create a third lane going south, where we use the Eastern Carriageway and the western lane.
What situation, what system you have in place to address the issue of constant PSAs for persons who might not necessarily always be conscious that the lanes are switching?
Well, we have some sign posted along the area which show what everything. But notwithstanding that, we will have to have it through the electronic media, so persons could know, well, the 3-lane activates from what time and so on.
Yeah, go ahead.
As it relates to the Christmas period, and if you should observe this morning, presently we are discussing that ranks have to be on the road, staggered at all the critical points to direct the traffic and ease vehicle using the third lane and especially minibus, make it into a 3-lane. If you have the third lane, still we have to get a single lane going west and a single going north.
But do you have the ranks to police and patrol
Right.
this area?
Well, resource as it relates to human being will never enough, but we got to make use as what we get and do the best and identify the critical areas where these ranks have to be placed.
What are your stats looking like for 2020 so far?
Well, so far, as it relates to fatal often, we had a 6% increase to date compared to last year. So when we look at the stats, if you observe for the past 3 months on the East Coast, East Bank, ranks have been staggered out. And we have when you compare it for this month especially, we get a reduction so far as it relates to fatal. And it is working. The ranks are being instructed to, especially on the peak hours and during the day, don't stop vehicles and check for documents. Right, just stay, assist in direction of traffic, keep the traffic flowing. The desired result is that you will get less speeding and less accidents. And that will be continuing throughout the Christmas period and going into 2021.
Mr. Ashram, the issue of penalties for drivers who continue habitual breakers of the law, the traffic rules and regulations and so on. What is the Ghana Police Force doing about this?
Well, we realized that some of the penalties is not deterrent, and sometime in last month I did, as it relates to traffic offense too, which was not on the ticket book. I recommended and I sent a list to my superior with some other offense. I believe it's 24 other offense to be added on the ticket book, and the fines should be raised.
What are some of those offenses?
Fail to conform to bikes, to sign, fail to wear seat belt, using handle, so mobile handle phone while driving, and some others.
And what are the fines? What are the increased fines that you recommended?
I recommend fines up to 25,000. At presently, the ticket offense, the greater fine is 7.5. So I recommend some of the offense should be 20 and 25,000.
You had a fatal a few meters from here on Monday.
Monday.
Road Safety Week was launched this Monday, and it was noted that there's an increase in speeding, fatalities, and driving under the influence in road accidents. How do you address the accident that took place there, and also what is being done to address this issue of speeding and driving under the influence?
Well, as it relates to the speeding and driving under influence, we continue our education program and our enforcement, where we have police walking the road 24 hours, and in the night we have patrol on the East Bank, especially the East Coast. But when you look at this corridor from Georgetown to the Harbour Bridge, even though the speed limit is 50, there is, especially in the peak hours, vehicles cannot travel at that speed. So what you find with pedestrians, as we observe, is that they're using the road in attentiveness, not observing the curb drill. And if you look at that accident and the video, it showed clear that the gentleman did not look south to see vehicle proceeding north. Maybe he tell himself that he should not have looked north because he know vehicle only going south. So as this morning, we are out here, and I'm indicated to my officers on these bank that ranks have to be at these areas, Agricola Junction, and at the pedestrian crossing, they have to be staggered out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashram.
Assisting people in crossing.
We were speaking with Traffic Chief, Mr. Ramesh Ashram. We will now seek to have an audience with Mr. Clifton Hicken, who is the Assistant Commissioner of Operations here on the East Bank. Yeah, we continue our conversation here on the East Bank of the Mara. Now we speak with Assistant Commissioner Hicken, who is in charge of operations of the Ghana Police Force. Mr. Hicken, the operations here this morning, what is going on? What could you tell us?
Good morning, Leroy, and thank you for the person, to all who are viewing and all who are listening. It's important for the Ghana Police Force to do constant analysis in relation to traffic and crime. Recently, we've had a death in front of Agricola. I've been monitoring what's going on at East Bank for some time now. Hence, I've summoned all the commanders and the traffic officers concerned for the 4B and Regional 4A. We recognize that in the afternoon and in peak hours, while we were extending the western carriageway to accommodate the two-lane to flush the vehicle going south, we noticed the minibuses and vehicles in the form of cars and other forms. They're using the motorcycle lane, meaning they're undertaking. And when that happens, creating more congestion on the East Bank Traffic Road. In fact, it becomes that dangerous that when commuters are using the road, they can be blindsided, like the incident that occurred at Agricola. Similarly, in the morning period, when we have two lanes going north, and we accommodate one lane on the western side to flush the vehicle going north in the morning, similar situation applies. Motor users or operators, they cannot wait, so they're using the inside lane. And when you reach Agricola or you reach at Eccles, they're creating a serious bottleneck, and it can endanger commuters too. So we have a new posture here, will be in place for Monday. We're going to try it right through the weekend and ensure it works, and then we're going to open it for Monday. What we're going to do, we're going to have police traffic ranks stretch along the corridor. That is to slow down traffic, but primarily to ensure that nobody uses the inside lane where cycles are supposed to be used and motorcycles are supposed to be using. In fact, we don't have complete pavement along the East Bank, so we got to preserve the commuters too who are using the road other than vehicles. So in doing that, we are going to protect them. I've contacted some people from the corporate sector, added to what we have, and we are going to have adequate amount of cones for Monday. So we are going to ensure that we use cones to protect the inside lane so that vehicles cannot go there. So we'll have a smooth flow coming down in two lanes instead of making three lanes, which is unlawful, on the western carriageway. Similarly, we're going to have on the eastern carriageway two lanes, because we're going to ensure that we mitigate against people using the inside to undertake in terms of traffic. And basically, we're going to monitor that for a week or two, see how it's working. And once that posture satisfies us, we're going to mimic that in the other regions, especially the Harbour Bridge. That's the next focus for us. Sometime next week, you're going to see the same team going over to the Harbour Bridge, and we're going to do an assessment there too. Because it's constant analysis in terms of identifying what are the problems in terms of traffic, cause us to have this emergency lane, and it's working on the East Bank with some tweaking that we're doing now. That was mimicked on the East Coast. So we're going over the river. We've been getting a lot of complaints in terms of congestion and right-of-way and privilege and special pass. So what we're going to do, we're going to analyze over the weekend what's going on over the river, and sometime between Monday and Wednesday, we're going to see if we can put some ideas into reality and fix what's going on at the Harbour Bridge too. And this you're going to see across the regions from time to time.
Assistant Commissioner Clifton Hicken, Operations, Guyana Police Force. We'll now speak with Assistant Commissioner Simon McBean, who is the commander of the Police 4A Division. Commander McBean, you're a part of a team that is on the ground this morning assessing the situation on the East Bank. What are your thoughts with respect to what is going on? What took place this morning? You had a fatal last week. Is it your division, Agricola?
Yes, it is.
Yes, you had a fatal on Monday, sorry. So I figured this site visit had to do directly with that fatality on Monday. Please tell us how we could expect improved traffic arrangements along this corridor.
Yes, today's visit is in response to our fatal accident. This visit this morning is to see how we can better manage the flow of traffic along the East Bank during the peak hours. We are seeking to have a smooth flow. One of our main intent is to ensure that there is no undertaking, because that is one of the areas that we observe that is causing the congestion. So we plan to have more resources put into this area, some cones that will help us direct the traffic, some additional police officers, and on static and also on motorcycles that will help manage the traffic. We are also appealing to members of the public. You're using the East Bank Road. It's a reality. It takes a certain amount of time to get from wherever you're coming from to Georgetown. Please plan ahead, because when there's little or no planning, then is where people want to board to get where they are going in a timely manner or faster than they should, causing some of our issues. So we are pleading to the members of the public, ensure you plan ahead, plan your trip. If you know you're leaving West Demerara and it takes 45 minutes, plan that as part of your trip, and don't leave late and want to get in Georgetown in an earlier time.
Thank you very much, Commander. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Leroy Smith. This has been Focus with Big Smith, and we spoke today with Traffic Chief Ramesh Ashram, Assistant Commissioner Operations Clifton Hicken, and Commander 4A, Assistant Commissioner Simon McBean. Thank you very much for joining us. Do join us here again.